Oprah spent time with blood and love on his mother and children, only to set live on national TV and call this man a pedophile with no real proof, totally biased, based on what the white boy said. Absolutely, they're like, so you don't think Michael Jackson, and I follow Michael Jackson's nephew, Taj, and he's a big crusader for his
uncle.
Yeah, his uncle, and make sure his legacy is intact. And he tweeted that. He says, well, now Gayle sees how we feel. We went through whole hell yet last year of them really trying to dig my uncle up and then demonize him all over again. And Oprah was at the helm of that. And to your point, with no proof, and a lot of the stuff they were saying was debunked, was unfactual, but they ran full speed ahead with this documentary to demonize Michael Jackson, who at that point had been dead for 10 years. But now all of a sudden we supposed to, and I just don't believe Oprah. I don't believe Gayle was getting death threats and she's sitting up there crying. I think they...
Wait. Hold on, yeah. I got Gayle's number. Let me call her real quick. Yeah, bitch, you dead.
Right.
I mean, come on. Well, how are they going to get that number?
Right. I think they sent out Oprah to get out there and plead her case. Oh, she just can't see.
And because it's Oprah, everybody's going to believe Oprah,
right.
Because, she's got all these people.
I don't believe it. And now she's walking around with security. I just kind of fail to believe that Gayle didn't have no security up until this point. Now, Gayle is just at Whole Foods by herself. Come on now. Al, he says, I bet Snoop would have brought plenty of dogs from that black lady. You stupid. Lindbergh says, truth. You're on the point. Thank you so much. And Jonelle, you say, sorry for the glitches. I have people. I'm on my live phone, if you will, so stuff comes through. And Jonelle says, who disrespects a person during their stay of mourning, but a hateful person? And even that Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Elijah said, sat Malcolm down when yes, it's true, spoke in bad manner against JFK during his death, even though it was the truth. But with Kobe Bryant, it was a lie. And good journalism would have interviewed Caitlin Faber, the lady, especially about all the semen in her panties. Absolutely. Yeah. And then they also, I want to point out real quick, that Gayle called her a victim. But she wasn't a victim. But yet that was the narrative that's the narrative they keep wanting to put out there about Kobe, that he did something and victimized this lady who obviously wasn't a victim, but, Gayle wanted to keep that up. And I really believe Gayle was put up to doing it.
Right.
You did such a great job with R. Kelly. Get out there and, get the scoop. Let's have another, breaking the internet moment.
Yeah, exactly. We got to get those ratings up. But think about it. They just gave her $11 million. You mean to tell me she had no idea? When you get that kind of power or that kind of raise, you have control over the content.
Oh, come on.
So for her to say, "Oh, I didn't know what they put up in the clips," it's a bullshit. I'm going to call bullshit.
She just didn't think her ass was going to get chewed to that degree, but it did.
Right.
And Al, he says, Demetrius, you just left the doctor's office recently. Remember, he told you to keep your blood pressure down. I'm cool. I'm just a very passionate individual, But I just don't think we need to keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Like, they can't. Don't let Oprah tell you what to do. Oprah got $3 billion in the bank. Oprah gonna be all right. Okay?
So they say.
If her friend don't never ever say one word on TV again, Oprah got her best friends back. Okay, it's us, the people down here on the ground level, got to worry about it. Oprah gonna be fine. Okay, they're gonna be great. So we would and Susan Rice. Susan Rice, she's out there doing her thing with her white husband, and she's got all these prestigious, roles and the titles she's got.
All because she's the best friend of... Can't stand on her own talent, but go ahead.
And Marcus, you say, honestly, it's not even necessarily all of us just going back to Africa, as much as starting to understand that there are just better places outside of this shithole.
Oh, without a doubt.
So this is the shithole.
Without a doubt. We went to the Seychelles. That's a beautiful place.
Right. South
Africa.
And you said there are some places that welcome us and our dollars with total respect and inclusion. Absolutely, but we, like Donovan say, it's hard for us to let go of this good white man over here.
Where you gonna get a nice $500,000 house that you can get the same house over there? Right, you can get the same house over there for $80,000 plus 6-7 acres to go with it.
Right,
it's all about the thinking.
Exactly. And Jonelle says, right, Donovan, where is sympathy and consideration for Kobe's family and the respect even for his daughter Gigi that passed with him? And Gayle wants to play victim when her way has been blasting black men. Yeah, how dare you try to be the victim?
Right, and this man died with his child This woman is a woman. I'm supposedly, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, having a womanly thing. How could you be so callous to think that was an okay question?
Like, the man is not even in the ground, but you want to throw dirt on his legacy.
And he's got daughters that are still grieving.
Wife.
Right.
But yeah, you thought it was important for you. I'm a journalist. I got to ask the important question. What was important about that? The man was not found guilty of any of the stuff you want to keep talking about. But yet you're doing your job.
Well, come on, Lisa. You were with him in the clubs. You know he was doing all that stuff.
Tell us something.
Yes, tell us.
Give us something.
The dirt.
Something.
We know them black men.
Something.
They're all sexually charged. All of them. You know, it's just sad.
Right.
Sad.
And Jonelle says #girldad and #blackdad is too positive to this biased world against black men. Yeah, because to your point, that goes against the narrative that black men are deviants. They don't spend time with their kids. They're all deadbeats. You know, and then unfortunately, a lot of silly ass black women have bought into that narrative.
Black men ain't shit.
But you know, and I'm going to say we because I'm a black woman, even though I've never done that, but we don't think about the roles we play in the relationships that our kids have with the fathers. Yeah. You know, a lot of these silly games we play. I mean, I got stories for days for you. I got stories, but I won't bore you with them today. But yes, definitely, it's all the hashtag, you know, gaining speed, and, you know, continue to say those things. Continue to say, you know, girl, dad. Don't stop because Oprah and them tried to put a kink in the chain. Forget them. Hey, Kevin, what's happening? And you say, I truly believe that the best way to understand why I do what I do, pro-African born in America, without being anti-white, and use the legal profession to define why no African American needs to stand on any authority unless we hold these truths to be self-evident. Emphasis added here. And all men are created equal and endowed by the Creator with inalienable rights. There is no need to explain defending one's right to self-determined existence, and of those rights, the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, without changing the meaning, because people say that the words were only meant for white men. BS. We are responsible to each other, and going for the first time is called a pilgrimage and should be considered for extended business beyond the limited borders of America. Just had a lot to say today. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was when we went back to Africa. It was a pilgrimage. Yeah. I would definitely say that it was.
And we'll be back.
Absolutely.
I got a comment from Proud Black and Intelligent webpage from Orlando Grazette. He says, how is this helpful to Kobe's legacy? How is putting how you feel or how his wife and family feel helping the situation? How is constantly mentioning that part of the interview helping to focus on the life of the great basketball star? This is no longer about Kobe's life. This has become about ego. Very sad.
And he's 100% right.
And thank you, Orlando.
Yeah, he's 100% right. And the narrative has been hijacked from being about Kobe and the unfortunate. I mean, you know, unfortunate is even an understatement. It's a horrible way to die.
Yes.
A horrible way. You know, yesterday, too, I read they said that they were only 12 seconds from seeing clear skies. Mm-hmm. So all the stuff is coming out. They also said that helicopter circled about, I guess, circled and kind of struggled maybe a little bit for a minute before it actually plummeted to the ground. So imagine being in that helicopter and knowing that helicopter is going down. And yet, here we are talking about Gail's crocodile tears and her being afraid.
Goat face. What does we call her? Dog face or something?
But we're talking about Gail now. We're not even talking about the beautiful life that Kobe, his daughter, and the 7 other people lost. We're talking about Gail because she wrote a check her ass couldn't cash. And now she's playing the victim. So good point. And Al says, calm down. Once the show is over, you're going to need Deanna to dye your hair gray. No, I'm fine. I just get mad because I just think we need to at some point in time, we just got to get on code. It is really raining out there. We got to really get on code. And if we don't do it now, we're never going to do it. Whenever they see us getting on code,
they bring the troops out.
I mean, Susan Rice.
Every trick in the book.
I didn't know Susan Rice was still breathing. I mean, Susan Rice. At first, I was like, who?
You know, and then
I'm thinking of somebody around the way. I didn't know it was like the Susan Rice talking about back the fuck off.
Yeah, and they always bring these tainted so-called leaders and people like that. That's almost like bringing Maxine Waters out. And what? What are you talking about?
Hey, Cheryl, you says, can we really start a movement to leave? Absolutely. Well, you guys are familiar with Marcus Garvey in the 1920s. He started to go back to Africa movement, where he got nearly $3 million black people worldwide before the internet, before phones, before television, to go back to Africa. Everybody was on board with this movement. He was like, "Hey, let's blow this joint because America's not for us." Everybody was on the same page. We were talking about group economics. We were like, just, we weren't there obviously, but so that movement going back to Africa when Marcus Garvey was up and running, and guess who destroyed it? The first agent, FBI agent by the name, they called him Agent 800. He was the first black man hired by the FBI to take down the UNI movement. That was the name of the movement. Marcus Garvey's movement.
It got him on wire fraud.
Wire fraud for $25.
Yep.
To the tune of $25. This man went to jail. He was sentenced to 5 years, and then once he got out, he was exiled or deported back to Jamaica, because that's where he was from. Mm-hmm. Sent him back to Jamaica, where he died, and the movement lost steam.
But let me ask you this, Cheryl, real quick.
It can be done, but we got to stay on code. See, those movements die, and it's not just that. When we have the Black Panthers, we have a whole host of them. Those movements die because we don't stay on code. We get people like Oprah and then their little helpers and people all over to get in and hijack the narrative and the message, and we get distracted and we get off code.
Yes, but what I was going to say is, Cheryl, why do we have to do this? Because the revolution should not be televised. Because when they find out that we're leaving in a drove, they're not going to let that happen. It's almost like Pharaoh and the Israelites. Yeah. He's not going to let his people. They're not. Everything's based on us. So what I'm saying is, what's stopping you from going? Go over there.
Right. Well, yeah.
And then maybe when you go over there and people see how great you're living and that big old compound you have and them big old mango trees and dates and stuff that you got going, then your cousin goes. Then your dad wants to go, and so on and so on and so forth.
We also got to concede the point that Marcus Garvey also said that there are some Negroes who are no good here.
You got to leave them here.
And no doubt they'll be no good over here. Mm-hmm. So they're going to have to stay, because you can't save everybody. Yeah. Everybody don't want to go. But we need to focus on the people who do want to go.
I almost say, speaking for black people, and I'm going to speak for black people, a third of us will not leave here because we're brainwashed.
More than that.
Right. Yeah. They're going to stay because they rather be abused, and some of them are getting their butter biscuits, and they're not going to go anywhere. So at least a third of us is going to stay here.
Absolutely. And Jonelle, you say, like the meme, Gail won't dare interview a friend of the late Kirk Douglas and bring up his past accusation. No, I probably wasn't even on her. Wasn't thinking about it. And that's really all that Snoop and a lot of people were saying. Hey, you got a lot of buddies you can interview. Why do you keep focusing on black men? And Snoop asked that, like, in 50 Cent. He says, what's your deal with black men? Why are you guys continuously trying to... See, I don't think they truly have a level of understanding of what's going on. Mm-hmm. Well, but they're asking.
Well, I was reading... I saw something on YouTube, something like that, where they're saying, like, Oprah, because of her traumatic experience, I guess when she was assaulted, it was by a black man. That could be one of the reasons why she has a real fear of black men or even marrying a black man. Gail, as I understand it, was married to a white man. And if you see pictures of them together, they're never with, like, black men. And if they are, like Russell Simmons, Michael Jackson, whoever, they stab them in the back later on. But, as far as starting a relationship with a successful black man or even an unsuccessful black man, they're just not into that stuff. And it's just something that they say it might be something in their psyche. And like I said, I can't say what she went through being raped by a family member or whatever Oprah's situation was. But a lot of people say that's probably another reason why they have this subliminal thing against black men.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was choking, kind of, sort of. I'm still kind of going through this cold. It was like...
And it's getting cold, so...
Yeah, and it's like the rain is just like...
You're bringing the cold with it.
Yeah, so I apologize for that. So I have Donovan speak as I... Can you read that?
Which one?
Oh,
Tommy. Every black person should read the ISIS papers and Neely Fuller's The United Independent Compensatory Code System concept. Until then, they have no concept of being on code.
Correct. And so I have the ISIS papers. I am reading them. Okay. Not an easy read, but a necessary read, I would say. And Neely Fuller Jr. actually was the mentor of Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. That is actually who wrote the ISIS paper, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. She's no longer here with us, but he mentored her in that, teaching her what racism really was and is. And he talked about black codes, the things that black people need to do to stay on code, the do's and the don'ts, if you will, of things we should and should not do to one another as a people so that we can make it. And so I 100% agree with you. We need to get familiar with those pieces of work. And Kevin, I apologize, you guys.
Kevin he has something blue here.
He says so he's replying to somebody. He says, absolutely can. Marcus Garvey started a movement, and he only had 30 million Africans born in America to work with, and no civil rights, and Jim Crow was in full bloom. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can do it.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, so there was one man with a vision. And he had, he just got people to believe in it, and the word spread. So if he can do it without all of the resources we have, what's our excuse, right? But we, I think, have just bought in, as Jonelle often talks about, the illusion of inclusion. We've been sold the false idea. To me, it's a false idea of civil rights. Oh, all we need to do is just get along or go live with them, and they'll love
accept
us.
They'll
accept us, and then that makes us validated. That makes us feel like human beings and all this other stuff. Whether they don't like us today, but tomorrow they will like us.
But here's my question for you, Demetra.
Sure.
With 12 years left to zero wealth, shouldn't we be making plans to get out of here now? Because if we wait until there's zero,
yeah,
what chance are we going to have then?
Well, I would say this too. So yeah, we should be making plans, but let's not go to somebody else's country and bring the same slovenly thought processes and the same problems that we have here. Because if you're going to take those same things over there, stay here.
Yeah, you might as well stay here.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because if we were on code, really, and we thought about, group economics and that kind of stuff, we'd be able to do it anywhere, So it's not, I don't think it's necessarily, it is where we're at because we know what we are against, what's facing us in America. But in the meantime, that really shouldn't be a deterrent. A lot of that is self-inflicted.
Right.
A lot of it we do to ourselves, and the hot dog stand is just a great example how we continuously pass our own and won't do business with our own people, right? We just won't do it. We find reasons not to do it.
But I think with 12 years to go, we need to start doing it because we're running out of time.
Right. And Al says, I just sent you a picture of Spike Lee at the Oscars paying tribute to Kobe wearing a Lakers suit with number 24 embroidered.
Awesome.
Spike Lee, I've always been a Spike Lee fan.
Even though he's a Knick fan, but that's okay.
But,
greatness knows great.
It's just really a terrible loss. Yeah. And I think I went to pick my daughter from the airport. And going into the airport last night, they got this big marquee. And there's a big, giant picture of Kobe. It says, a legend, and it has his birthday and his death day. And I'm like, oh, I'm sad all over again. Mm-hmm. So then I pick her up and leave in the airport. What do I see? A big, giant marquee of Kobe, legend, and I'm like, oh. Yeah. I'm like, this is just, it's a lot, and I wasn't a Lakers fan, even though I'm out here, but, I'm aware of the things that Kobe was trying to do and just, being a good dude. And so it's a big loss. Yeah. It just really is, And Cheryl says, bank plan date, we need to just start the company to go back. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you.
But the thing is, like I said, you're always going to have them butter biscuits.
Well, forget them.
What's his name? Bigger Longs. They're going to send those Bigger Longs.
But Bigger Long, we didn't go see it, but he's a character in Harriet Tubman movie. But that's your Oprahs. Mm-hmm. That's your Susan Rices. Mm-hmm. Those are the Bigger Longs in our community who want
slave catchers. Keep your hair.
The slave catchers. Oh, shoot. They getting on code. Yep. I see them gelling together. They unifying. Okay, what we going to do is... we gonna get together and then we get caught up in the symbolism. We know that Susan Rice she was under the Clinton administration, but we mostly knew her as Obama's girl. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we get caught up in symbolism. Oh, well, she was in the Obama administration and, Susan Rice, because, she got caught up in the whole Benghazi thing and she didn't even try to get confirmed as a Secretary of State because of that.
Yeah, they made her National Security Advisor.
Yeah. But so we think, it's Big Bad Susan. If she said it, then we all shoot. We got to follow Susan.
Isn't she married to a white man?
Yeah, it's a big, tall white guy.
Wow. Isn't it a coincidence that all these strong, black, independent women are married to white men? And they have an agenda against black men.
Gonna put a whole army against Snoop's black ass.
It's, like I said, when I see these things, I say, that's not a coincidence.
I'm with you. And Marcus says, honestly, while many of us wake up, how do we win the war against racism and hate when we have many who are now at the stage where they're asking permission from whites to be mad about what they do to us? Yeah, I mean, we're still there in 2020. I don't want to really say that because I don't want to offend people. And you either think they'll be okay if I say this. You think I don't want to offend white people. I mean, I have family members who are that way. They won't invite me to do much because they're afraid that I'm going to say something to offend white people. Because they like having, white people over and stuff.
Yeah, of course. They always keep you out of direct.
And Donna knows I'm not lying. I know how you, I'm like,
they make her sit in the corner.
I'm not, like he acted like I'm going to come over. I said too much now. I'm going to come over there. Hey, whitey.
Right.
What you doing over here,
Don't
whitey?
Talk politics.
I don't even be on that page, but I'm like, I'm not going to not be me.
Right.
You're not, because you cooning don't mean I'm going to do it.
Right.
So, right. But, we do have people who don't, I
don't want to.
Talking too loud about that black stuff now.
Let's tone it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Tone it down.
No. So I don't get invited many places.
Right.
Hey, Gina, you says, how are you guys doing? Just wanted to let you know. Pops is on Thursday. Oh, you know what? Oh, my goodness.
What's on Thursday?
Her father passed away.
Oh, my goodness. Sorry to hear that.
My condolences. I've known her father since I was 16. I dated her brother in high school. He's my high school sweetheart.
Oh, really?
So, her father passed. So, Thursday, give me the time and the place, and I will be there.
Now, I'm using this as an example, and I'm not trying to make light of anything. Well, what's her name, Gina?
Gina.
Gina,
I call her Gina, but it's Baina.
Yeah, Gina, that shoplifting incident that you did now that your father has passed.
Me?
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? This is not the time to bring up what Gina did, or
right,
you know what I mean?
Right. We want to at our time of need.
Yeah,
we'll bring up some stupid.
Where's
stuff.
your humanity?
But yes, please tell me the time and place, and I will tell Walter as well. And I will be there.
Yeah, and our condolences, really.
Yes, it's absolutely.
Like, to lose a parent, and it's rough. So hang in there.
And Barbara says, long as I'm black, I'll have a future 100. Yeah, that's a good attitude. I think we all should have that attitude. But I think that we all should do more to preserve a black future because, it's not me making this up. Just statistically speaking, black people are out of time. We're almost out of money. Yeah. We're out of neighborhoods. Yeah. We're out of health. We're out of, you name it, we're out of, you see how there's hardly any tea in this cup?
Yeah.
That's what we are. You know?
And a lot of people always ask me, they go, Donovan, well, what's the key? How do we get out of the situation? We got to make better decisions. You're in your situation because you had a plan and said, this is how I'm going to live. Now, does Dee have $1 million? No, she has $1 million friends. So, you got her plan and she got a good man and stuff like that, and she's working with her man. That's what I'm saying. We got to stop buying this narrative. I don't need no man. I don't need that person. We need each other. Absolutely. We've got to come together because we are running out of time.
And so, and to your point, Barbara, I do really love your attitude. But I think when we're thinking on an individual basis, yes, we have a future. Some of us. But when we think about black people as a collective, we ain't got no future. My mom would not like me and Al to say we ain't got no. But as a collective, we don't have no future. We just don't. As well, see. But individually, we're doing fine, I guess. Mm-hmm. But eventually, it's going to snowball to us. And so, everybody else's race has a future. But black people, our future is really on the precipice of not existing, So, we got to start thinking along those terms. It's a us thing. It's not, I'm doing fine,
Right. I got mine.
Right.
I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Right, we need to help each other.
Yeah, but and let me tell you another thing about finances and stuff like that. Those Negroes that think that they've got it good, okay, under the Obama administration, the white millionaires doubled. Okay, so you might have a few black millionaires. They say in this country alone, there is less than 100 millionaire families, black families.
Yeah.
Now, look at all those black athletes that have millions of dollars, supposedly.
Right.
There's less than 100 black millionaires in the United States. So what does that tell you?
Right. And how many of everybody else? A lot.
Exactly.
Asians are the least in population, but they're the wealthiest population in America.
And if there's only a few of us and there's a bunch of them, what's that saying in the Bible? A fool and their money are soon parted. It's just going to be a matter of time before they take the money from them.
Right, I doubt it. Asians like shoot.
No, not the Asians, the blacks.
Oh, well, they already doing it.
Right, but I'm talking about the few millionaires that they think, I made it. I got it. Yeah, no.
It's all going to catch up to you.
Yeah, it's all going to catch up.
And Al says the car is outside to take Donovan to the Oscars and
ready to go.
To give you a sedative. I can't stand him. And Samuel says, what's a new term we can use to replace the term mentor? The term mentor has a homosexual root. Oh, really? I'm going to have to look at that.
Look that up.
What's a good term to replace that? Leader, motivator, influencer. Okay, I have to look into that. And sorry, Jonelle says, yeah, we really need to flood the web with hashtag #GirlDad and make it a movement with black and male images. Because the internet being flooded brought this about. Black man in the positive roles make the Zionist-owned nation insecure. There's no such thing as coincidence. That was an attack on us via black pawn. That's exactly what it was. And you say Bruce. I'll say Mr. How about Mr. Iverson? He says, that's right.
Bruce Francois.
Okay, got it. And that's right. What good is Black History play? We don't have a black future. What are the black people come in today into today this time? I'm not really for sure what that means. And I apologize. I'll try to think about what you're saying. And then Jerry, what's happening?
Jerry, what's up?
Say the issue is when you get a couple of million behind your name, you get recognized by your name / white person. So when Snoop addressed Gayle, it's like he confronted a white woman and everyone came to her aid.
Yes. Absolutely, brother.
And what did Oprah do?
I can't believe it.
And what do a lot of times white women do?
Oh.
Like on The Color Purple.
Right.
On The Color Purple, I don't know her either.
Right. We gotta go. Right?
Yeah, she crying and everybody, wait a minute.
It's
now.
okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Hit the clutch.
Right. And Jonelle, he says, long live the spirit of the Honorable Noble Marcus Messiah Guy. I mean, absolutely. And Cheryl, you're saying, wow. And Jonelle, you are saying, those movements are working against, as positive images are working against, and like Huey P. Newton said, we must control our black images and check any and all that strive to keep us in a state of degradation, no matter their complexion, shine the light on them bed bugs. Absolutely. It is our job to try to protect our image. Dr. Claude Anderson always talks about how we own less than 3% of the media. Yeah. With less than 3% of the media, it's hard to control your narrative. Whoever owns the other 97% are controlling the narrative of black.
There's only 6 families in the United States that controls all the media. 6 families.
Any of them black?
No.
Oh. So, Huey P. Newton is right. We really do need to protect our image. Stop believing the hype. Even the hype of those that look like us. That, put forth these images that are supposed to be us. Like your Tyler Perrys and your Oprahs and those type of people, right? And Marcus says, and serious, let's not give Gayle or Oprah the power to think they can turn us against Snoop. Gayle will be a distant memory long before Snoop. Absolutely. Yes. Snoop has been in this thing a long time.
Well, and what's that other girl, Joy Reid? I mean, she jumps through butter biscuits and all kinds, every day, and she thinks she's like a serious.
You're talking about MSNBC, Joy Reid.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing over and over and over again.
Right, and then Jonelle says even OJ had to go, right, okay? Even OJ had to go on Gayle because that's how disrespectful she is.
OJ came out of hiding.
Hey, Bill Cosby tweeted from jail.
From jail, right.
He said
his wife too.
Yeah, his wife too. They're paraphrasing, but they all pretty much said, I'm glad that people are starting to see that there is an agenda
going on,
but to attack black men and black manhood. I mean, hell, even they're talking about attacking black manhood. Al sent me a picture of Billy Porter Watusiing down the Oscar red carpet with a dress on. You know, this is a black man who's getting ready to be on Sesame Street with a dress on.
Right. You mean full time or just a guest spot?
I guess him and Elmo going to be doing something.
Oh, okay. So it must be a guest spot. What you were saying, there was a gay man that was saying something earlier about what was that you saying about that gay guy that said that he don't even want a man.
Oh, he I guess he runs some site called the Black Wall Street or something like that. But he's continuously attacking black men. And my thing is, okay, great. If
that's your platform,
that's your thing, great. But you don't have to tear down it's just odd to me, that he's got this all-out attack on tearing down black men. I'm like, damn, all these people trying to get on Oprah's payroll. What's really going on?
Hey.
And Shirley says, we can be scared to do this. We can't. I think you mean we can't
be scared to do this.
And
I'm not. If they ask me either stay or go, I have no problem going. But I'm not leaving empty-handed. I want my checks and everything continuing.
You want your cats and dogs and everybody go.
Exactly. Everybody's going to go, my pension, all that stuff.
Right. So. And Kevin says, amen, D. Take nothing bad anywhere to grow good. It says, you said, take nothing bad anywhere to grow good, and that is called program living, not something in our women and men. Don't take the nonsense over there. If you're going to continue the stuff, just stay here. And Jonelle says, if a European mind, it's a European mind that we must come out of, and that's Exodus. Once we embody the truth, we're free. I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to see because it's white. We're free and home is everywhere we place our feet. But if we don't detox from our European mind, we are a white-minded slave where every place our feet, miseducation is why chains was no longer needed for us. Yeah, we're slaves now. We just go along with without being physically bound. It's just mentally we are. Right. So yes. And Al says the stage manager.
Did you get that? Sorry to cut you off.
No.
Did you get that comment you just said? You couldn't see it because it's white. You can't see what's going on because the white people. It just made sense to me when you said that. I was like,
the words are white, and it used to be black, but they changed them. Right, and Al says the stage manager must have told you to take a break because this tone is more like it. I was coughing. It was going to get out of control, so I didn't want to do all of that on here. Hey, Mary says, so how many men married to white women do? What does that matter? Well, I mean, there's a lot of...
Here we go. No, go ahead. No. I'm taking a deep breath. I just got to take a deep breath. Yeah. I have to take a deep breath.
There's a lot of black men married to white women.
Yes.
I'm not trying to make it an issue of who's married to who, but I think you're referencing Susan Rice. Mm-hmm. Susan Rice is married to a white man, and she's going to try to bring a whole army against a black man who was sticking up for his black friend and his friend's family.
So
I think that matters to some degree. She was the ambassador or the assistant secretary, ambassador something.
In the United Nations.
Long ass title to the African nations, and the African people suffered severely under her leadership.
Yes, as a matter of fact, the Rwandan genocide happened under her regime.
I mean, so she's caused a lot of harm to black people in Africa, but here she is over here trying to come against one black man. I think it's very telling she's married to a white man, that she has the gall to try to, subjugate this black man because he is fed up with the bullshit.
Right. And
so does it matter to me who she's with? No, I mean, like I said, I've only been with black men. I don't care about who I'm with. But I think it's important to highlight that.
Yeah, but for me personally, I had some black girlfriends that went to HBCUs that are now married to white men, and they're all Republican now. And they're far right wing.
I see them on your page. They be on your neck.
Absolutely. But you see what I'm saying? Now, does it matter to me that they're married to a white man? No, you love who you love.
But don't try to tell me how to be a black woman or a black man. You go do your thing.
Exactly.
Don't try to subjugate me because I was black.
I'm going to defend black. If you don't want to do it, that's on you.
That's where the problem is. Yeah. And Kevin says, seems like my being alive offends white Americans, and I don't feel bad about it. Mm-hmm. Nor should you. And Marcus, you say it's also fair to say that many of us who support Gayle and Oprah have adopted the white Cowley way. I think I'm thinking that we have a right to say anything about anyone under these rules of freedom of speech. I like what 50 said. Regardless to what you think Kobe did or didn't do in his passing, who does it benefit to ask these types of questions? Yeah, and 50 did ask that. Who's benefiting from this?
Why hasn't Gail or Oprah asked Donald Trump about the 19, 20-plus allegations?
Yeah, where's their big time?
Sexual assault.
Right.
This is the president of the United States.
Right.
What about those things? Grab him by the pussy. Remember that?
Right.
You guys remember that?
And then John Ellis said, much blessing and healing to you and your family, Gina. I mean,
yes.
absolutely.
Amen. Yes.
And Cheryl says, yes. And Cheryl says, it's Aretha Franklin, Michael Jackson, Nipsey, Kobe,
Prince, Aaliyah, Tupac, Biggie, Whitney. With losing so much, it's starting to weigh heavy on styling flair of America.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's just becoming a lot. You know, we're losing a lot of great people
and people that are influencers. I mean, some of those people that you just named changed a lot of people's lives around. Some people went from stealing to making music.
Yep.
Some people, went to fashion. They went to school.
Yep.
They,
and these people were making big differences in the community,
putting the message out.
Yeah, and doing the work. And hey, Charlie says, just by saying her name is giving her power. I never say to names Miss La Gay, La Gay, and Miss Winfrey, the Winnie. You say, stop giving these two women any power from the hood. Black people should be encouraging black to vote and vote for the person who is going to put money in your pockets. For your families, right? And the hood's pockets, absolutely.
Yeah. You're right.
I agree with that. I mean, I think we really should be talking more about Lisa Leslie, who held it down for the black man,
right? Because she could have fell into that trap.
Yeah,
they wanted her to say what they wanted.
They wanted her to get on their code,
right?
Let's continue to tear this black man down. And Al says Regina is directing a movie called One Night in Miami. It's about Sam
Regina
Cooke,
King.
Malcolm X, Belafonte, and Ali, who were talking about black unification in the South. Yes, you guys, I love Regina King.
We were there with Regina King.
We went and saw Regina King at a symposium. I love her to death. Always has since 227. And I think that's a very awesome, dope thing that she is doing, making a movie about those guys because they were friends and they were all talking about black unity. And we know that is why Sam Cooke is not here. They'll tell us that it was a mafia hit, or it was he cheating and his mistress killed him. We know that's all bullcocker. We know that he was trying to take control of the music industry.
Right,
he was
trying
to get black people to be more independent, to own their masters and stuff. And shortly after that, he was gone. We know what happened with Malcolm X, and we saw what happened with Muhammad Ali. In his career, and so I can't wait to see it. And Jonelle, excuse me, he say, unity and self-love is empowerment, and our salvation, in fact, a future for any, is rooted in the principles of unity and self-love. Imagine if the ants gangbang and didn't work together. Unity and self-love is rooted in nature. Absolutely. And I think that's a good point. We just, that has to be our second nature, to automatically love and do for one another. It's like no other race, and you don't have to tell them, hey, go support your brother, your sister. They just automatically do it. It's not something you have to run down the Black History Parade Expo and say, hey, your sister's over there selling hot dogs.
Yeah.
Go over there.
A quick story. About 3 years ago, there was not one Vietnamese restaurant in this town. Now there's over 6 of them. And I'm not saying everybody eat Vietnamese food, because if you eat some Asian food, sometimes it's not really palatable to your American diet. So somebody's patronizing these restaurants. They are, and now that they went from one restaurant in less than 3 years to over 6.
Oh yeah,
over
absolutely.
6. And we've had one major black soul, and not Popeyes, soul restaurant.
Roscoe's?
No, Louisiana Seafood.
Oh, you mean over here?
Over here, and that was over 25 years ago.
Right.
When it opened up. Only one. There hasn't been another. Well, there's another black one that opened up.
But they come and go.
They come and go.
They're actually a new burger joint that just opened up.
Right.
And Al says Maharaja or consultant is another word for mentor. Okay, I know I jacked that word up.
Maharaja.
Okay, there you go. And Jonelle says white girls lie, cause damage and cry victim. Exactly what Gail and Oprah is doing. Another version of the Trump girls. Diamond and he says Diamond
Diamond
and silk.
Diamond and silk.
My battery is.
You know, they love it.
I don't
they
think
love
I plugged
it.
up over there. The
Okay,
battery
I got it.
And then Jonah, you also say him and Elmo going to be doing something. And they're gonna be doing something in front of the. I mean, it's like, why does Billy Porter need to be on Sesame Street?
He just does.
And you know what chaps my hide? Shut up, Al, because I already know what you're thinking. You know what chaps my hide? Is that there's a lot of us, black women, who co-sign that nonsense.
Oh, isn't he beautiful?
I don't see a problem with that. Oh, I think that's not. Oh, that was a nice dress. Oh, I don't see a problem with it. It's like...
Those are the women that don't mind being in threesomes.
I'm just more or less like, let the kids decide if that's what they want to see. I mean, I can imagine being a 2-year-old and I see a dude saunter across the screen with a dress on.
Then you wonder why these kids get confused later on as adults.
Right. I think you had to come back on. Yep. And then Macy. I'm sorry. Macy. Sorry about that. Sorry. You say... Well, I myself am from Kenya, currently visiting in the United States, and I can tell you that the visit has broken my heart. Wow, on many levels, with all the financial success and opportunity did African Americans have. It seems crazy. What is this thing saying? My charger. It seems crazy. There's so many moved in a powerless way. The idea came. We as Africans hate the African Americans, say a lot as to how well it is believed here. When not even 2% have had that conversation with any African to verify that hatred as a fact. And you know what? I'm glad you said that, Macy, because I've actually, when we were in South Africa, we've heard a lot of them say that. That's as hype. It's a lie that Africans don't like African Americans. It's I don't know where the lie came from, but we've heard it a lot, you know. But I'll tell you one thing, when we were in South Africa, I didn't sense no hate at all. We had such a good time.
I know I didn't.
He didn't sense any hate. It was a great time. And so I love the point that you made, that there's a lot of opportunities, you know, far more than any other country, and we are squandering it away, if you will.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then so, hey,
you got the original charger.
Yes. You also say, Macy, it's a oops. Let's see. We're trying to fix the charger.
You don't have the original. That's what it's saying. Keep going.
No, that's the one it goes to. That's because that's my phone.
Okay, let me see if it works better though.
We're doing some technical stuff here. Let's see. Yeah, it's charging. Okay. And let's see. Oh, okay. So you say, Macy, it's amazing that here in the United States, it seems said financial success and influence is prison for blacks because the better they do, the less they can say, and the less blacks and
good point.
teams they get to be. But yet the idea of returning back to Africa with a success where they will be celebrated and treated amazing respect, but instead they stay here where they need their success to be validated by whites.
Well,
I couldn't even add nothing else on to what you said because you're 100% right. You know, Donovan says this all the time. You know, a lot of black people just can't see separating from this good white man. You know, even though you know it's
detriment to you.
Golly, it should stress you out. You know. And Jonelle says, "What does it matter? She's married to the colonizer's family, doing as colonizers' minds would do against her own. What does it matter that she's not moving in the best interest of the people?" I just think it's the fault. Let's see, the people who died tragically in a tragic accident that her colonizers want to make mockery of before the families can even be put in the grave. What does it matter that these people don't do unto their others as they would want done unto them? It matters a lot when injustice is at the root of these issues. Yeah, I mean, it's harder for somebody like Susan Rice to sympathize with black people. Well, like you said,
when you went to Yale and Princeton,
and she's not living in black circles, evidently. Right. You know, so it's easy for her to get on and try to leverage her power, if you will. And you guys on the podcast, thank you so much for tuning in. We will hear, and you guys will hear from us on Friday. It's easy for her to leverage her power against one black man.